Please humor me, and consider the following theoretical situation. You are an Iron Warrior's warsmith, chilling in your workshop, and you want to make some more mechanical abominations. And wanting some nice background noise to listen to as you conduct your wicked craft, you go to YouTube to find some Iron Warriors content, maybe to get inspiration. But it's been, oh wow, a year since JH put anything up about his Iron Warriors. Disgraceful. Surely Perturabo will entomb him in a demon engine.
Fuck out of here and go to the...
Oh, Pete put something out not too long ago. Nice. But his last video was a year ago, so it doesn't count. Which I guess leaves it up to me, your faithful servant, to deliver upon my viewers an Iron Warriors conversion video. So without further ado, enjoy the 3 of my most favorite models I've made over the last year. My Dark Apostle build initially began as this metal Chaos Sorcerer. Now before you shame me for the sins that I've committed, I'd like to inform you that his staff was already broken and the plasma pistol had been snipped off when I had received him. So, like some kind of underling of Mangala himself, I proceeded to snip this dude apart with side cutters. I just really wanted the head, man. I put it on my Sorcerer and Terminator armor, and it looks fucking sick, okay? Anyways, after concluding the horrific mutilation, in addition to the head, the left arm and lower half of the torso were left fairly intact. Those skirted legs got attached to the upper half of the torso found in the Rhino Gunner kit. And I'm actually quite a fan of the bit itself. It's got this rustic feel to it with the rivets, but at the same time a bit medieval with the chainmail loincloth. And it just so happened to fit almost perfectly with this helmet that I believe belonged to a Chaos Lord. After this, I tacked on that old left arm from the Metal Sorcerer I tore apart, and then took the right arm from the newer Sorcerer that holds the rune, and instead made it hold this book that I pulled off of a rhino I bought off of eBay. Lastly, I constructed the accursed Crozius out of a small plastic tube and the spiky bit that I had on hand. Finally, I glue this totem pole of impaled heads to his backpack to give him a taller profile. And this is the completed product. Fun fact. Did you know that the average sentence for battery is about 5 months? Wait, what was I talking about? Legionnaires. So after a 4.5 month absence, my 2 buddies bought me this kit of Legionnaires as a welcome back gift. Now, after extensively kit bashing with this kit and making some true abominations, this is probably one of my favorites. I might show more though. Not too much to say here. I gave him a Mark III head and backpack as opposed to the proper Chaos parts. His torso did not fit together properly at all. That pistol holster there is from a Mark III kit. I had to put that in there to hide a ungodly scene. But I think it came out alright. I tried to make it look like he was getting ready to quick draw. And then that massively oversized shoulder piece, I believe, came from the Lord Discordant. Well, before you get bored, here it is painted.
As I could from the West Texas town of El Paso, back to the badlands of New Mexico. I thought you wanted it this way.
Come here. Listen close. This is something the Imperium doesn't want you to know about. There is a website called eBay.com, and you can buy models secondhand for a fraction of the price. I have also found that old retro models that have since been updated are even cheaper. So, looking for some discounted Havocs, I stumbled upon this. Okay, let's see what we got here.
That's good.
I immediately knew that I had to purchase a squad of these little guys. I still remember the seller, actually. They go by Mindtaker Miniatures. I'll never forget. They sent a little thank you note in with the models, and a bag of M&Ms. I enjoyed those M&Ms. If I remember correctly, I still have the wrapper and the note. I picked these models up for about $25, which is just over half what it would take you to get a nice brand new squad of Havocs today. There were only 4 models, but the one that was missing was the Aspiring Champion, which is way easier to kitbash because the bits are far more abundant as opposed to heavy weapons. And while I did do a little bit of work to the other 3, the autocannon Marine is the star of the show. Just look at that fucking machine gun. Now, the modern Havoc is not bad looking in his own respect, but I think it was a serious downgrade to the older design. Look at that! It's fucking chained to his shoulder so we can let it hang freely when he's not shooting. How fucking cool is that? But I digress. As beautiful as his weapon system was, the model definitely needed some work. I started by slicing out the old string bean torso and replacing it with something a bit bulkier. I used another one of the Predator/Rhino Gunner torsos. I then gave him a Mark III head and at the time decided it would be a good idea to reuse an orc sight for the machine gun. And this was my first iteration. I later got unhappy with the lack of leg bulk and instead gave him Mark III legs, which I unfortunately do not have pictured. But after that, I decided that he was too short and stumpy, so I decided to give him actual Havoc legs to make him closer to true scale. It was around this time that I had gotten my Legionnaire kit, and I noticed this one particular shoulder pad that I was quite a fan of. Now, spikes are commonly used for Chaos conversions. People often refer to Chaos as the spiky Marines, but for Iron Warriors, I tend to limit the amount of spikes I use and focus more on chains because I think it looks more industrial. But these spikes look very man-made to me. They look like they're made to keep homeless Gratz from snuggling up on his shoulder. And so it just really gives me that rustic feel again. I also at this point came to the conclusion that though the idea of a brass knuckle handle for a foregrip is cool, the weird above vertical foregrip as though he's trying to hold it like a chainsaw, but vertical foregrip, it just doesn't make sense to me. It looks awkward and uncomfortable. So I aimed to fix that. I sliced the hand off from the wrist and completely repurposed the arm with that new shoulder pad. I took an X-Acto blade and shaved down the side of the gun where the handle attached so that it looked smooth. I then cut a Marine arm just below the shoulder and used that to mount the new shoulder pad. I cut the old arm right before the shoulder pad and used that arm part for this new configuration. Finally, I shaved the non-dominant hand off of a bolt gun. I would have just used a pre-made arm that already had a hand not attached to the gun, but I didn't have any on me, so I had to improvise, and I wanted to reuse the old arm in some way. I think the hand came out pretty well for the fact that I had to shave it off, and that if I ever tried to take it off, it would probably fall apart, but this leads us to our final result of the Iron Warriors autocannon Havoc. I'm in your walls, I'm in your walls, I'm in your walls, I'm in your walls.